back. It's our Friday edition of On the Hill with Pat Jenkins Sports Talk Radio. It's our A edition of On the Hill. We like to do it each and every Friday as we get you ready for kickoff of tomorrow's 11 a.m. kickoff. Arkansas hosting the New Mexico State Aggies in Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. This segment is brought to you by Lindsay & Associates with locations in Fayetteville, also 2 locations in Rogers. Lindsay & Associates, we bring great neighbors together. It's also brought to you by Locomotion. That's located just below the Northwest Arkansas Mall in Fayetteville. Go check them out. Take the kids out. Have a blast. Pizza, go-karts, all types of really good things for your kids to do. And lastly, it's brought to you by Fun City. You can catch them right off the 412 bypass in Springdale. And if you don't get a chance to catch us each and every day, check us out on iHeartRadio as we podcast the top segment of each and every day's live broadcast of OTH. And in a couple of days, you want to talk about the fans being really excited. It's going to start and be caused by the Fastest 40 as on Wednesday. We'll be making our way here at On the Hill to Arkansas Basketball Media Days, where we're going to have a lot to talk about. And we want to get it started by bringing in my good buddy of AR Hoop Scoop, Kevin McPherson. Kevin, welcome to the Hill, my man.
Good to be back with you.
Let's get off into it. 2017-18 season is met with a lot of expectations for Coach Anderson and the Fastest 40. In your opinion, what are your expectations, Kevin, heading into Media Day on Wednesday?
Well, first of all, I think Arkansas is going to be a better defensive team this year. And now a lot of that has to do with the length, size, and athleticism that's been brought in this 2017 class. It's another team that's loaded with, it's got 6 seniors. Last year's team was a veteran team. This will also be a veteran team. So it's got a good blend of newcomers and veterans. And I think, the schedule looks like it's going to be tougher than it has been. It's going to be Mike Anderson's toughest schedule at Arkansas. So, in the last 3 seasons, Arkansas has had a 27-win team. Last year it was a 26-win team. I don't know if expectations should be as high in number of wins, but I think by the time that the Arkansas is getting into the final third of the season, really the meat of the SEC schedule, the second half, Mike Anderson's teams play their best basketball at that time. I would not be surprised if this team is more dangerous than any team he's had as you get closer to that SEC tournament and NCAA tournament. Because of the versatility, I really think the length and athleticism of these younger guys, by that part of the year, I think they're going to, they say, well, now they're really sophomores. I don't know if I'd go that far, but they're going to be helping in ways to make Arkansas better defensively that we just haven't seen. And so my outlook on this team, really looking ahead, I think the SEC is going to be better, and I think Arkansas is going to be in the top 3 or 4 teams in the league. Kentucky, Florida, Texas A&M, Arkansas. There may be some other ones that sneak in there, but I know Missouri's got a loaded class, and a lot of people are already projecting them as a top 25 team. I'm going to pump the brakes on that, but getting back around to it, I look for Arkansas to be a 20-plus win team and heading back to the NCAA tournament with a chance to sniff that Sweet 16.
When you look at Jalen Barford, Daryl Macon, these are 2 guys that will, without question, be the 2 faces of the Arkansas basketball team. Everywhere they go, fans and coaches, media alike will be, always singing their praises and what the opposing team has to do to stop those 2. Give me 2 guys on this roster, and it doesn't matter the class or whatever, Kevin, that you really feel like have to step up and be 2 more go-to role players for this team to really reach the level that a lot of us around here think they have the chance to reach.
So outside of Barford and Macon, who are 2 other guys to step up? Well, Anton Beard, here's a guy that as a freshman made the All-SEC freshman team, a guy that Mike Anderson, slowly worked into the starting lineup, and Arkansas really kind of turned a corner that season in that 27-win season and really finished out strong that final third of the season. And a guy that really, since that time, really has been up and down. And last year was probably, obviously his junior season was his best season since being a freshman. He had some injuries late in the year and probably didn't finish the way he wanted to. I've heard nothing but good things about his work ethic and getting in the best shape of his life, and it's his senior season, man. And we've seen Mike Anderson in his program, players develop, and they finish strong. And I really think, along with Macon and Balford, you're talking about 3 senior guards, guys are going to be counted on. And I think Anton Beard will play a big part in what Arkansas does, and he's going to go out the right way. And, of course, Trey Thompson. You know, here's another guy. With him and Beard, they both have a chance to be, you know, leave out as seniors, making the NCAA tournament 3 times out of the 4 years, which, you know, you have to go back quite a ways to find players that had that kind of resume at Arkansas. And so I think both of those guys, you know, Trey Thompson, we've never really seen a lot of that out of him offensively other than mostly as a passer. I think he's going to have to give Arkansas a little bit of offensive presence, not only in the high post, spacing out, but some down low, defensively, rebounding. So, and then Beard, you know, Beard's not a point guard, but he is a combo guard, and I think Arkansas is going to have to rely on him some to really remember that facilitating and and moving the ball and being a leader to helping trigger that offense is more important than him finding his own offense. He seems to play better, and when I've noticed him taking those, you know, basically applying his game that way. And sometimes he tends to forget that. But into the senior season, I think part of growth and leadership is really understanding your role. And so you talk about 2 guys coming in and playing roles. I think Beard and Trey Thompson from the veterans are the guys that Arkansas is really going to need to complement the others.
When you look at this new investigation, this FBI investigation, Kevin, how does this either help or hinder Arkansas going forward? You know, I'm of the belief that Mike runs a very clean program, but do you think with schools like a possible Mississippi State or schools that Arkansas may have recruited the same kids that are getting in, you know, all these allegations, does that help, you know, with Arkansas opening more doors once people realize that they do run a clean program? Or, I mean, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I think, first of all, I think Arkansas runs a clean program. I'll be shocked, and I've said this on Twitter and other radio spots the last couple of days, that be shocked if Arkansas has found, you know, if there's anything uncovered with any wrongdoing with Arkansas. Mike Anderson, everyone knows, doesn't play the shoe circuit AAU game. They don't buy players. So if something were to surface, I would be in shock. I'll never rule anything out with 100% certainty, because I just don't go through life making absolutes, because, you know, we all tend to learn things that shock us. So, but I just don't see anything there. So to answer your question, I would think it would benefit Arkansas, the fact that they run a clean program. Now that we're not talking about NCAA problems, we're talking about FBI, federal laws being broken. You know, we're talking prison. And so now, if we're talking that, and we're talking about stones being unturned, and now Nike's been subpoenaed, and, you know, I've talked to a few people that think Nike, that some of the stuff that's going to come out with Nike might be worse than the Adidas stuff. Now, I don't have anything substantiated there, but I'm hearing that's a possibility. I'm also hearing a good number of 2017 players, college freshmen, may end up being ineligible. So I got to think, for a clean program, this stuff helps, because now guys maybe that you were losing out on, who had incentives, you know, with dollar signs to do something else and make other decisions. Now people are going to be less likely to go those routes, and I would think a program like Arkansas could benefit from that.
Real quick, we got about a minute and a half. Give me your take on Jordan Phillips, Reggie Chaney, and Ian Steer. 3 guys. I know Ian just recently, over the last week or so, decommitted from Creighton. Arkansas was one of the schools heavily pursuing him during the summer. But where do you see those 3 guys fitting in this grand scheme of things, with Arkansas still trying to, solidify that 2018 group?
Yeah, Arkansas's got 2 more scholarships to fill for 18 based on the current numbers. I think Jordan Phillips, Arkansas is in great shape with him. He told me last night that Arkansas is still his leader, and he's probably about 5 days away from making an announcement, a decision. So, that's one of those deals where if he gets away, I think it's because Arkansas has moved on and thinks it's got other things in play. But I think that he'll end up a hog based on what he's telling me. Reggie Chaney's visiting Texas A&M this weekend. He's a guy that Arkansas really wants. They've compared him to Bobby Portis and selling him on that potential role at Arkansas on inside out. He's 6'8", 220. a big, strong guy, can definitely play inside. So this is the kind of guy I think Arkansas needs to close with. And then, and I think it's going to come down to Arkansas, A&M, or TCU. He recently released a final 8, but I think it's going to be those 3. So we just got to keep an eye on that. And then Ian Steer, he's going to make an announcement a week from today. He's going to take an OV to North Carolina State. When he decommitted from Creighton, he said he wanted to play closer to home. So I think he's a lock for North Carolina State. He never visited Arkansas. I just don't see any other spot for him right now other than the landing with the Wolfpack.
Well, as always, my man, we'll bring you back and start getting into a little more basketball coverage as we kick things off. And you gonna be up here on Wednesday?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
All right. Well, Kevin, as always, my man, thanks for taking time out on the hill.
Pat, it's always good to be with you. Thank you for having me.
That was Kevin McPherson of AR Hope Scoop giving us the fastest 40 scoop on the Arkansas Razorbacks program. But we said we'd continue to give you the scoop from what the players are saying. And we catch up with Kevin Richardson, the senior Arkansas safety. And here's what Kevin had to say.
Be Superman and make all the plays. I'm just gonna go play like I'm supposed to do in this system.
Arizona State just beat Oregon, who was ranked, and New Mexico State played at Arizona State within 6. It's not going to be hard to compare scores, but what these guys they look like a pretty good team. They just beat UTEP by about 30 points.
I mean, they're a talented group. They got a veteran, wide receiver unit. They got a veteran quarterback. They got veteran linemen. They got guys who are out there, 5th-year players who can go out there and give everything they have. And, it's going to be like a Super Bowl game for them. So, they're going to come out and compete, and we're going to have to come out and compete just like any other game. We can't take them lightly. We can't, over-prepare for them. Just, play our role and do what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, they got a running back, Larry Rose, is like 10 yards short of 4,000. That's a lot of yards. What do you think about him?
I mean, he's really talented. I mean, he's capable to play, at any league, any conference in his country. I mean, he's a real talented guy. We just preparing for him, just like, we got a lot of talent in our backfield that can give us great looks who are over there on our scout team, giving us tremendous looks at, what we could possibly see on Saturday.
He forces a lot of missed tackles. How much of an emphasis has that been this week?
I mean, it's always been an emphasis. I mean, we missed 2 tackles last week, as a whole, and we just look forward. We focus on tackling. Coach Rose has always emphasized on tackling. That's to be a great defense, you have to be a great tackle in defense, and that's kind of what we focus on. Not just with him, but with everybody. Everybody has to focus on tackling.
I know you didn't play hardly last week, but the defense, Paul said actually didn't have many busts or missed assignments, but when you guys did, the Aggies really made you pay. They got some big plays that hadn't happened the first couple games. Kind of what's the mindset about limiting the big plays?
I mean, you can see it. I mean, we've been focusing on it since the start. And, I think our first 2 games we had 0 big plays combined, and to come and have these big plays, but they were just little busts. I mean, those busts hit us big. 200. I think Coach Rose said 230, 240. Yards in those 4 plays alone, those big plays, and that's a big factor in it. And you can see that really factors in winning and losing.
Yeah.
So I mean, we kind of concentrate on that.
Is that